Isn't one of the joys of watching a Predator movie wondering who will be the last survivor? Well, it definitely is for us. The whole uncertainty of staying alive, especially when you're up against an extraterrestrial species that likes to hunt down humans for sport, certainly serves as the enduring thrill of the whole Predator franchise. So while there have been quite a few protagonists who have been impressive throughout the Predator franchise in their fight against the mighty species, very few have managed to impress us as much as Naru, the member of the Comanche Tribe. As seen in Dan Trachtenberg's Prey, was a badass warrior, and in today's video, we're going to explore her story beyond the movie. Are you ready to know what happened to Naru after the Prey movie? Well, let's find out. But before we get into our explanation, we do have one very small request. If you enjoy our content, then please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Now let's begin. A peek into the Prey movie. While we won't be going into the details of the 2022 movie, there's no harm in taking a glance at the important aspects of the self-supporting plotline so that going forward, all of us are on the same page. Set in the year 1719, almost 300 years before the events of the first Predator movie starring the iconic Arnold Schwarzenegger, Prey has the feral predator landing on Earth during the time of the Comanche Nation of the northern Great Plains. Amber Midthunder stars as Naru, a young Comanche warrior, who goes all out to prove herself as a hunter in her community. The thing about Naru is that she desires to hunt like the male members of her tribe, but because of her gender, she's not expected to do so. Worse is that she's even believed to be incapable of hunting, or kutamia to be more precise, which in the Comanche language means the first big hunt. The roles in the community are noticeably predefined, and naturally hunting is considered to be a man's job. Of course, the tables get turned when the feral predator arrives, and it's fitting to say that Naru gets to let out her first war cry. The ending of Prey explained. There's no denying that Prey follows the same structure as most Predator movies. The feral predator gets its fair share of kills until Naru gets the better of it. At the end of Prey, we find Naru heading back to her village with the severed head of the predator, which she throws in front of the tribal chieftain. However, it's not just the head that Naru brings back with her. Remember how she and Tabe ran afoul of French fur trappers, the ones who were responsible for skinning the wild buffalo? Well, those who have seen the film will recall Naru managing to lay her hands on a flintlock pistol from an Italian translator, whom the French had hired. Safe to say, the gun plays a significant part in Naru's fight against the apex hunter, and when she returns victorious, she hands over the pistol to the chieftain. It's not until the end that one gets to have a good look at the pistol, and truth be told, the engraved pistol did possess the power to send any longtime fan of the film franchise into batshit crazy mode. After all, the pistol had Raphael Adolini 1715 engraved on it, which means it's the very same flintlock pistol that Danny Glover's Lieutenant Mike Harrigan was gifted by the elder Predator Greyback at the end of Stephen Hopkins' 1990 sci-fi action film Predator 2 for defeating the city hunter. The solitary fact that Naru is handed the flintlock pistol in 1719 clearly indicates that the Italian translator she had aided earlier with the blood-cooling herb Orange Tozia was none other than Raphael Adolini, the man himself. The antique pistol that Harrigan gets as a token of respect has been a point of speculation for a very long time amongst fans of the franchise, and to be able to witness the pistol's actual owner is nothing but sheer joy and excitement. However, when one takes a pause to think about it a little more, one usually can't help but wonder that this does have some seriously dark implications for the future of Naru and her tribe. It's true that she emerged triumphant over the feral predator and Prey, but there's no denying that the pistol did eventually land itself in the possession of another predator. Centuries later, Greyback is seen handing it to Harrigan, and while how the pistol came into the possession of the predator has not been explored yet, one can't disregard this either. Prey aftermath theories. It's pretty evident that another predator did pay a visit to Naru and her tribe in the northern Great Plains sometime in the future. Given the fact that we are aware of how a predator normally functions, it's not that difficult to guess that the predator would eventually end up taking possession of the pistol after killing the current owner. Now, there's a high possibility that the owner can be either Naru or the old tribal chieftain, since Naru was seen handing him the gun at the end of the movie. Also, there's no way to know whether Naru loses the pistol or it was taken from her after her defeat at the hands of a predator, unless a new movie around her continuing the storyline is made. With that being said, it's a sure thing that Naru will be facing the predators for the second time thanks to the animated credits scene that's featured at the end of Prey. In a series of larger art paintings, the whole story of the film is depicted. Even after Naru dropping the severed head of the feral predator, the artwork continues, disclosing to the audience what happens next. We see dark clouds and lightning. As for Naru and the rest of the tribe, they're seen staring up in the sky toward a bunch of approaching predator ships. A total of 3 predator ships are seen appearing from the cloud, and the scene cuts to black. Well, if you ask us, that's quite a cliffhanger. The ending simply points one to a direction that the war is far from over, and there are more predators on their way. While what exactly happens next can only be witnessed after a sequel to Prey is made, but what is sure for a fact is that somehow a predator ends up with the same flintlock pistol. What happened to Naru? Several unanswered questions explored. We're looking at a fearless woman who just wanted to prove that she has what it takes to be a hunter. Naturally, upon being underestimated by her peers, and more importantly by her brother, her rage is fueled, and may we add, to a great extent when even the feral predator doesn't see her as a threat. No wonder she takes it all out on the predator, thereby giving Prey a satisfying ending and also leaving room for the story to continue. Of course, the ending clearly hints that many questions have not been answered yet, and we're going to take a look at all of them now. What about the feral predator spaceship in Prey? The spacecraft is shown pretty early in the movie, dropping the feral predator and disappearing into the sky. While it didn't appear any time later in the movie, it was certainly a big mystery, leaving us fans thinking about what happened to the dropship. Of course, there are possible explanations. There's a high chance that the spaceship was on autopilot, and after dropping the predator, the ship activated its stealth mode and stayed hidden in the skies until the predator was ready to leave. Next, it's a possibility that there were numerous predators on board, which meant after witnessing Naru's victory, they went back to inform their clan, and that's why we see more predator ships approaching Naru and her tribe in the animated closing credits. Quite a probability, don't you think? Why is Naru not seen taking any of the Predator's weapons? If you ask us, this is one of the biggest unanswered questions. There's no denying that Naru is incredibly smart, and while she's seen resorting to the Predator's advanced gear to kill it, she heads back to her tribe with just the decapitated head. This is rather baffling and even odd, because taking the alien weapons would have actually kept her and her tribe safe from every other threat. Leaving behind the resources in the wild clearly meant someone would eventually discover them and use them to their advantage. What about Naru's father? While Naru, her brother, and mother receive a whole lot of focus in the movie, her father seems to be missing in the picture. The movie doesn't explain or even drop a single hint as to what happened to him. The only thing that connects Naru with her father in the film is the tomahawk, which was a gift from her father. It's a possibility that Naru's father died before the events of the movie, but what caused his death can only be theorized at this point. We think he died while hunting a wild animal, because the movie certainly has no dearth of mountain lions, wolves, or bears roaming wild. What do you think happened? Hit us in the comments if you can think of something. How did the Predators manage to get the pistol before Predator 2? Believe us when we tell you that Naru acquiring the flintlock pistol from Raffaele Adolini is a huge thing for fans of the franchise. Despite the fact that the whole thing does connect Naru directly to the storyline of Predator 2, it also raises a very big question. How did the Predators get a hold of the same pistol? Given that we still do not have a movie that connects the events of Prey and Predator 2, it either indicates that Naru gives up the pistol in her future encounter with the Predators as some kind of peace offering, or let's say to show that she and her tribe are not a threat to the Predators. In addition to what we've just said, there's also a chance that the pistol just continues to trade owners in the decades to come, and the Predators find it by chance. What happened to Naru after the Prey movie? Clearly, the Prey end credits show that more predators are coming to see what happened to their fallen comrade, and in turn hunt and destroy the ones responsible. Naru's actions, as seen in the movie, can act as a catalyst for the impending battle between humans and predators. Also, with Naru advising the tribe to move to a more easily protected ground, it surely seems like she's preparing herself for war, something that the closing credits of Prey kind of suggest. Additionally, we're also aware that the predators aren't exactly the ones who would hold grudges against the humans, unless they felt threatened, of course. So coming down just to take revenge on the tribe members won't exactly be their likelihood. There's a fat chance that the predators are seen approaching the tribe in their spaceships, simply to take back the feral predator's body or whatever is left of it. Marvelous verdict, with Naru making use of her experience and of course not giving up despite her countless failures to eventually best a predator on her own terms, simply puts her up very high on the list of the last survivors from the Predator movies who have lived to tell the tale. While it's true that more concrete news on Prey 2 will not emerge until Predator Badlands, which is all set for a November release this year, one can always be a little hopeful. Well, that's all for today, and with this we finally come to the end of our video here. So have you seen Prey? Sorry, we're not going to take no for an answer here, and we find it extremely hard to believe that you are yet to see the film. Anyone, addressing those of you who have, we would love to know your thoughts about the movie in the comment section down below. Now, if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Please do leave a thumbs up and stay tuned with us as we promise to come back with more exciting content. Till then, goodbye, and thanks for watching. Have a nice one.